Whoever heard about technology being a pain in the ass? No, of course not. Okay, so I could be like, continue. Do I seriously have saves? Yeah, oh my god, yes I do. Spoiler, here's your 4 main characters. Luther, Ivan, Minra, or Myrna. You can go either way. Or Ellen. God. Why is she level 30? Stop asking stupid questions. Anyway. Okay, so this intro, it's not anything special. I'm saying that now because this was a placeholder Clayton and I did just to, dive more into the mechanics and everything. And at first, when we were messing around with ideas and however else, we didn't have paper. I was sick with laryngitis, and this is basically what we did. Grammar errors and everything, apparently. But these 5 characters essentially did stay and have a major role when limitations were removed from the RPG Maker style of PlayStation, I guess would be the way to say it. You get my point. So who they're summoning here, the people of Fight Gamma, is Samuel, who is the bad guy. I'm also informing you now, this emulation isn't going to be perfect, so if it stutters or it lags a little bit, don't be like, oh my god, because I'm pretty sure. It's not PlayStation, it's just a program. I'm just gonna skip through this. This is Luther. I couldn't decide on his 2 looks, so I decided, hey, why doesn't he dye his hair blue? And yeah, that was kind of infamous. Of course, his goal, looking for Kirsten, who was mentioned in the Gamma demo, was still later his intentions. Of course, this intro still sucks. And who's that? Oh, it's Ivan! Of course, Ivan, I eliminated him and Minra from knowing Luther completely. This is not something I intended, but whatever. It worked. And people seem to like it. And the cliche of everybody knowing each other, it never stood. So, that was that. Minra on the right, as you can tell, was just Elena's clone, or at least how her sprite was modified. So, Minra has several different designs, I guess, but she kept her core personality for whatever reasons. But I still had the importance of her? I don't know how to really word that. We also had the idea of where Kirsten used to originally be Ivan's apprentice. Of course, that fell through. That never stayed. So, no, just read it. Don't be stubborn. My god, these PSX graphics, I don't know, PlayStation 1, I don't know. 5 years, I don't know if I wanted to do that, but, I think that was more or less omitted. And here we are starting off with Clayton, who put himself as a self-insert at the time. Because, again, we were just messing around and having fun. This wasn't something serious at the time. We were, just messing around. Here's, Lauren. Durer. Can't even think. It's 11 at night. I'm tired. And of course, there are a number of switches and triggers that will imply that you can go to the inn, but there's also an implication that it's not necessary. I was trying to think what else was necessary. I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of the houses weren't programmed in, or however. Yeah, everything just seems not very graphically impressive when it comes down to the RPG Maker PlayStation version, but it still kept its base purpose. That book, you've realized, of course, and him having the bed. Take a snooze. And of course, you can go and save during this time. I'm not gonna save. What I am gonna do, if I can figure out the buttons. Items, life potion, whatever. Everything was customized because you have to do everything from basis. But what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make everybody invincible and the battle speed to be fast, because no one likes having to deal with whatever. Put this a little faster. I really don't know all the switches because they got rearranged when I moved it to the different engines of the RPG Maker. But here's the mansion, which was eventually actually moved to the edge of town as intended. Of course, walk through walls because I'm on debug mode. There is no church, as you can tell. There aren't a lot of things around. It's Alpha. Random person. Can I talk with you, random person? No? You don't have dialogue. Okay. God, how long? It's been a while since I've messed with this. Leia? The town of Leia actually stayed a lot more in contact than you'd think. That wants to go and load the maps. Come on, be friendly here. Some kid. When I see these, I can't help but to plan ahead. War's brewing! No, I'm kidding. But I actually had to end up making all the armor and whatever else. Though the joys of having nothing to work with and having to wing it. Of course, the weapons have a different name to them, I guess would be the way to say it. And Luther is just overpowered person. The old man, of course. Just be friendly! Stupid nerd. Talk to me. Hi. Be prepared always for the worst. You can always ask me if you need any advice. I don't intend on traveling these days. You guys are gonna love the world map. Because guess what? There is no world map. Anyway, so here's a long story behind this, but I'll make it short. Sure, when she says sometimes, I swear, I see it move. This was originally intended to be a boss battle. The goddess was originally supposed to be in like some sort of end boss that was eventually scrapped for whatever reasons. Because I wanted to burn down a town, something in terms of that, but that was eventually scrapped. But her original dialogue more or less stayed in contact through beta and gamma. And of course, I don't need to go through this if you guys intend on playing it. The whole idea of the Mercen Knights came about when Clayton saw one of the monsters that had the Headless Horseman, I guess would be the way to say it. And yeah. You know what? Just for the heck of it, I am just gonna bother Luther here real quick. See how he has blue hair now! He had no business when he leaves, and he's just like, go away. That's very rude. God, Luther, you could at least be a little enthusiastic. don't need to go for a bed if you already know it. The reason why these are so expensive is because they add to your stats. So don't be like, I don't understand why it's so expensive. Of course, everybody has different dialogue when you go and interact with them there. Again, not that interesting. God, basic maps. Can't believe how basic these maps were. So here's the world map. I'm gonna show it before I unlock the cave, which is over here. This was eventually redubbed, or however, into different variations, but very much keeping its very core base concept. I actually like this map. I always wanted to. Here's where the wind castle would be, but that was changed to have its own little island, like right over here somewhere, if I remember correctly. And over here is the water castle, surrounded by water, but of course you can't tell that with this kind of map. I don't know, there's some sort of charm that I like when seeing an old map like this. I mean, maybe I would do something like that, but at the same time I'm not really interested. Anyway, let's go back to the old man. He's gonna give us our first quest! Woohoo! Or something to that effect. This, more or less, is where things originally started for Clayton, because not knowing to have a better intro, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, is there something you would like to know about the Mercer? Pathing in this was just like, make you go from point A to point B for, you know, whatever map. Book stayed the same, kinda. I don't know if there's anything else. So many memories doing this. Of course, this talks about the information that was soon added to. But still stayed in contact. Now, if you went about continue reading it as Luther in Gamma, he eventually has a flashback. That's something I had added in. Little, it wasn't really all that necessary, but something I added in. And of course, people recognizing that Luther had already left town. So let's go ahead and jump ahead here a little bit. I was trying to think of what else to think about the map. I believe... There it is. I've always liked the idea of the compass. That's what I was gonna add before. Anyway. I have to go back to the old man and do that. So, the reason why I left this a little more open and have people have more choices is that just in case people did want to go and travel for whatever reason, they had the ability to go and talk with Luther before he had left for Lion Cave. Of course. Mark it on the map, blah blah blah. He really doesn't have interactions. I'm not going to go into detail about that. I'm surprised that Leia pretty much stayed in contact. But let's go ahead and go to the first aspect here. If it wants to load nicely, just load. Just... Lion Cave actually changed too. Of course, I implemented and re-implemented how you interacted with Luther would change dialogue. I mean, it's not really all that important, but just a little something fun that I put together. Just something that I ended up doing. Of course, it froze there for a minute. Now you're gonna be like, well, maybe it's just like that happens also with the PlayStation trying to read the 10 different switches you now just activated. So I'm not gonna go into detail about that. Lion Cave surprisingly has stayed the same too. Somewhat. I say somewhat because, of course, has the same feel? I don't know. It's loading a battle, finally. Yay. Ah! No! I don't want to have to go and do that. Stupid emulation. I'm not gonna go and change the... You know what I'm gonna do? Battles are not necessary. What I'm going to do is just turn it off. Actually, I'm going to do that one. Because battles more or less weren't my strong suit. Something that I guess wasn't really intended until after, and so it just makes it better. It makes it better so that we're not dealing with random encounters, and I'm not delaying this any more than necessary, because if you really want to know, you could beat this game in 2 days, and that would have been that, but that's not something I intended. Walk through walls! Because I can. Now, what I liked about this is that, I originally made it to where you could walk behind there for 2K3, but I never changed it. Potions are potions, and chests are chests. I eventually implemented a save point in that corner. And the chests, if you really want to, aren't that special because this version of RPG Maker doesn't deal with variables that well. Though it still has switches, it just doesn't deal with variables that well. Let's just go ahead and... So, don't take another step. Well, if it isn't the darkness defined within itself. It's good to see you, Luther. Of course. Luther, before, would have been like, hey, there's something up, I sense it. But then Luther just kind of pushes Clayton back and whatever. So just Samuel suggests to leave, and of course, haha. I like those balloons. I would like to re-implement them into the game if I can, but I don't know. It kind of worked with it not being there and having the more sound effects, I guess. Now this is something I liked, and I cannot re-implement completely. It's much more smoother, I think. You know, Samuel disappearing, Clayton to there was no indication of layness. So, whatever. Book is left behind. This should provide a clue. Rustle, rustle. A key, I wonder where it goes. Telling you this now, that's going to be very uneventful compared to my Gamma demo and everything that I had evolved past that point. Or crafted past that point. If you want to notice, there is no Mage-All Cave. Mage-All is not something that I planned at that time. Of course, you have to talk to her to get permission to get into Clayton's home. See, a friend of yours? Not really. You gave me a key in case of whatever that gives you permission to enter his home. There is really, again, nothing special other than providing the players with a save point. You can still take snooze. However, I am going to split it up here if it wants to be fun. Just read it already. I'm going to save it for this one. Because I can. So, I'm not going to do any battles. I'm not going to do anything like that. Because the battle system was not redefined in here either. I'm only here to explain as to what Alpha was and what Clayton and I did. But I will get around to recording the next episode, I guess, or however, or continue from here.